right here, right now. I have been a part of Woodland, as Woodland has been a part of me for almost 4 years. And in that time span, I have obviously changed, both as a student and as a person. To be fancy, you could say that I have obviously evolved. But what isn't obvious, however, is where exactly in the school I've done most of my evolving, and there's a specific place. And to all my wonderful and incredibly dedicated teachers from over the years, no hard feelings, but it wasn't necessarily in the classroom. Now, let me explain. Believe it or not, I've grown the most right where we're all gathered, right here in the all-purpose room. It might sound a little silly, but it's true. In the 600 or so morning assemblies that I have had the pleasure of attending, I have experienced 3 things: transition, triumph, and transformation. Right through those double doors right over there is where it all began. I reluctantly walked into the APR for my very first assembly at the tender age of 14, transitioning into my freshman year on a whole new learning environment. That morning, I was asked to stand up before the routinely announcements with all the other new students that year, and I watched a room full of strange, unfamiliar faces clap for my existence. My initial thought was, when baby Simba was first shown to the animal kingdom in The Lion King, was this how he felt? It was unlike anything I've ever seen before, but nonetheless, I found it to be quite endearing. And I got used to it fairly quickly. As the climate got cooler and the leaves changed in the fall of 2011, I let myself slowly but steadily transition into being a Woodland student. But it wasn't until that winter when I gathered the courage to put myself in a whole new light for all to see. Right over there in that area upon a stage, I demonstrated one of my greatest lifelong passions for the very first time in front of the entire Woodland community. I picked up a ukulele and I sang. And right then and there, I made an inevitable conclusion. Give me a gig at Madison Square Garden in front of a sold-out crowd. You could even put Sam Goodman in lights. That would be amazing. However, it could never bring me even half the joy that I can only get when I sing for Woodland. That year, I also tried to dabble into competitive sports and had my very first volleyball game, but that didn't go quite as far. In the earlier Woodland phases of mine, I was constantly intimidated with thought, with one question that specifically resonated the most. Now, what in the world is going to become of me here? Well, over there by the curtains, or whatever that is, that separate the APR and the gym, I became Earlene in Footloose. I became Betty Rizzo in Grease. And I became the editor-in-chief of the Woodland Informer, for which I initially started out as the magazine music critic my freshman year. Looking back, amid all the disasters and discoveries and everything in between, I became everything that my 14-year-old self crossed her fingers and once hoped to be. And if that is not triumph, I don't know what is. I guess you could even say that this room here tells a story. And although the story may seem to have a happy ending, it is actually far from over. The platform that Woodland has given me to excel in the future and in life is something I will cherish forever. And I could go through an itemized list that would unravel and expand down to my feet of people who helped guide me towards success here. But with such limited time to wrap up this speech, I would just like to thank you, Woodland, for never giving up on me. Through all of my transitions, triumphs, and transformation into who I am today, you were all there with me and for me every step of the way. Thank you.